Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated.
Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So I've been getting a lot of questions asking exactly how I'm paying for the 426 build and just basically how I pay for all the stuff in general. This Challenger I have for my wife, the Pilot's old, but it's a touring at least. It was kind of expensive when it was new, but it ain't new anymore. And of course the Scatpack, which for anyone who's counting, I think I'm up to right about $26,000 on top of the purchase of the car, which I got the car for a really good price, 40 grand. So at this moment I should be somewhere 66,000 into the car, which is still a relatively low number considering what's going to have a forged 426 fuel system capable of a lot more power than I'll ever make, 1400 horsepower. So ProCharger, which is just a D1 SC, it's not going to be able to make a ton of power, but should get me to the point where I want to be right now at least. And the fuel system will allow me to run E85, which allows me to bump the power up a whole bunch without changing out the blower unit as well. So that's something to keep in mind because a lot of people are asking. You can't make that much power on a D1 SC, but if it's E85 and it's really high timing and stuff, then should be able to make a lot. I don't know about 1,000, but a good power, put it that way. But I don't really know how much power I need out of it. I'm looking for around 1,000, but we'll see how it goes with the transmission and everything. Maybe I'll go a little bit more, a little bit less, but right around there is what I'm going. So basically, how do I pay for all this stuff? 26 or 66,000 for that. For those of you who know, my wife's car was 46,000. I think this Pilot was like 42 or 3 or something like that, but you know, it's a 12, so that's not even expensive or anything. But basically I have a job where I used to work, as you know. So I had a normal job. I had a normal 9-to-5 job, which I made pretty good money. And then I also have my own little business, my own little side business that I run. And I was doing them both for a while, which is why I had a whole lot of money for a period of time. And it just got to be too much because I was doing YouTube too. So I got out of, I left the company I was working for, and now I'm just working on myself and doing YouTube, as you know, and that's providing me enough money to, do all the stuff that you're seeing. I don't have as much money as I used to, like in terms of savings and stuff. I've depleted my savings a little bit to pay for this 426 build rather, but a lot of you know, and this is why it's a little bit strange when a lot of people accuse me of making videos just for views and stuff like that. Like, I'm a tiny YouTuber. Like, when I make a video, I get like maybe 10-20 bucks from it, 30 sometimes. If it does really well, then it might get up to like 50 or 100 or something like that. But by far, with the amount of money I normally make and what I do like in my personal life, it's not worth it to do YouTube. I do the YouTube because I like doing it. It's fun. I like interacting with people. I like making the videos. It's fun. It's not about money really, because the money's not there. Maybe one day it will be, but I've been doing it for over a year now, and I have definitely spent a lot more time and money than I've regained, which I haven't gained anything yet, and I'm going to go into that right now. So I've been doing the YouTube I've had my account for since like 2006. There's like some super old videos of my 240 and a bunch of dumb stuff, but I've never cashed out any of the money from my YouTube account. So it's all just been accumulating in there. And I really didn't need the money, so there was really no reason to touch it. I think right now, we'll look at it in a second, there's around $8,000-9,000 in there. So I didn't really need the money, so I didn't touch it. So it's just been building in there. I think I have the payment threshold set to like $100,000 or something like that. So essentially I'll never get paid, or maybe I would in 20 years or something like that. I decided that I was going to use that money to build the Scatpack, build my Scatpack, which is why I was looking for around the $10,000 mark, and then it kind of just ballooned for that extra $6 grand. But it was worth it. I mean, getting the fuel system, getting a lot of stuff done while the motor's out made a lot more sense, which made me go over my budget by a little bit. But in the end, it'll work out better for me. But it did cost me more. I was looking to spend around what I was getting from YouTube, and I definitely exceeded that. So I haven't gotten the money from YouTube yet. And the reason for that is taxes. So I made a lot of money this year, and I don't need to take that income hit in the 2018 year. So I'm waiting till next year, and then I'm going to cash it out when my cash flow is a lot lower, and I won't get dinged on taxes nearly as hard. So let me go into let me take a look at my YouTube account and I'll show you guys some of the stuff, like how much money I make on some of the videos, how much money's in the account now that I'm taking out. But this is this is how I'm paying for the latest iteration of the build. But I mean, obviously I paid for it already and I haven't gotten the money out of YouTube, so I just have money in savings that I'm using for it that I will replace with the YouTube cash. So here is my dashboard. Or do you guys want me to do this with my gross thumb that everybody likes? Look at that. Disgusting. It's not focusing on it, luckily. But everybody just comments on the thumb. It's kind of funny. But just for those of you that don't know, my thumbnail got ripped off. I was grabbing for something one day and it like snagged. Oops, my depth perception through the screen isn't that good. It snagged on something. I think it was like a door jam or something like that. And I was moving my hand so fast because something was falling and it jammed to my nail right there and it pulled the entire nail off. It was the most painful experience of my life. It hurt so bad, and they actually had to do some like put some stitches right here to repair the nail bed that was messed up. So the nail just doesn't grow back correctly now. It grows back all like disgusting, but it is what it is. At least I have a nail. So better than not having one, right? Okay, so this is my account. I don't think there's anything in here that's going to be like private or anything like that. It's just whatever. So there you can see my stats. If this thing will ever focus. Okay, so my estimated revenue, and this is for 28 days. So per month is $557. As you'll see in a second, that's kind of a variable. It changes all the time. This month I've received 148,000 views and 710,000 minutes of watch time. So let's just look at some of my latest videos. Like let's say this video that I just did. This video is, you see right there, $39. CNN alert. 39 bucks. This got 4,700 views, so about 40 bucks. I mean, it'll continue to monetize. So over time, it'll probably gain, I don't know, $50, maybe. It'll keep going up as more people watch the video. But the video's been out for pretty long time. It looks like 9 days, and that's what it is. So I'm not making a lot of money. Like it's just, there's not a lot of money for me for being a little tiny YouTuber with 14,000 subscribers. It's just not a lot of money. But keeping that in mind, if we go over to the I don't know why I'm looking at my camera screen. I can't see anything through it. I need to look at the actual camera. So we're going to look at what I've made total. So this is the, you can kind of see when you publish a video, you get the spikes in monetization. And I don't publish videos very often. I try to sometimes, but it's just when there's not a lot going on, I just don't make videos. Sometimes I'll just make videos on random stuff like this. Mostly just answering questions, but if there's not anything going on with the car or whatever that I think is going to be interesting, then I just don't do it. But so now I will look at 365 days. So in the last year from YouTube, I've made $7,604. So you can see a few spikes when I had videos that did really well, but as a whole, not bad. I mean, whatever, $7,600 in a year. It's not bad. But just one thing to keep in mind, it does take a lot of time and a lot of money and effort to make videos. So it's not like a winning proposition. Like the camera setup I have here, which is decent. I don't know how I can show you guys. Look, here, check out my camera. See, this is my camera, and this is a A6000 Sony mirrorless camera, and then it has their extended mic on it, and then I have the battery box thing on the bottom that just gives me more battery power, and it prevents that camera from overheating as bad, because this camera likes to overheat when it's hot, because it's a camera. It's not necessarily meant to do video for long periods of time like I do. Like you can do fine with like 5-10 minutes, but once you get past that, it starts to overheat. But the external battery pack keeps the heat out of the camera, and it allows it to record longer. So just some things I've had to do to kind of like keep it going. So the setup I have right here in my hand is like $1,000, easy. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like it takes money to do YouTube. You don't necessarily need a good camera. You can just do it with your phone or whatever you want. But when you're talking about how much money you're making, like profit, you definitely have to keep what your equipment costs are in mind, and then the time on top of that, which has been a lot of time. But again, it's just for fun. I mean, I like making YouTube videos. Maybe one of these days I'll make a ton of money and I'll have like this crazy channel where I have a bunch of turbo vipers and crazy stuff that I would like to do, but right now I just don't have the money for it. So we'll see. So right now what you see me do is really what I like to do. Like, I like my Scatpack, I like making it fast. Like, I kind of do things my way. I take input from everybody, but it's always based on what I want, because I'm not making enough money on the channel to do things just what everybody wants, because I'll never recoup it from YouTube. So it's just kind of like up to me. If I made all the money from YouTube like some YouTubers do, then you got to kind of do what your user base wants. It's just a different experience. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The YouTubers out there, they do a lot of cool stuff for YouTube because they make their money from YouTube. I don't, so I have to kind of live with whatever I do more so than others. So anyway, so that's the 365 days. You can see was 7,600, and the lifetime is 8,800. So as you can see from the little graph here, I don't know if it'll go so. Oh, look at that. So as you can see from the little graph, like, the majority of the money was in the last, since 2017, 18. Really, since I got the Scatpack. I started doing YouTube when I bought my WRX. And that was cool. I did a lot of videos on the WRX, but then it got flooded. So then I wanted a car with more power. Was always a little disappointed with the power in the WRX. So then I got the Scatpack, and it kind of just went from there. But so there you go. Next year sometime I'll be cashing out somewhere around 8,800, 9,000 bucks from YouTube. Put that back into my savings, and that'll offset some of the cost from this latest build, which is costing me $16,000, as you know. So it's going to only cost me roughly half of that. So little less than half of that. So that's pretty good. So that's how I'm paying for it. That's the kind of creative way I did it. Like, it just basically means that all the money that I made from YouTube so far is just going right back into YouTube. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And that's one of the things I did with my business, how I was able to allow it to grow so much, is that most of the profits that I gained went right back into the business, because I didn't necessarily need money. Like, I don't need to go buy a bunch of stuff. Like, I can just reinvest the money. And that's kind of how you can try to grow something. But it is risky, because at some point, if the cash flow stops, then you've never really got to realize any of your profits, and it's all just spent back into the project or the business or whatever, and you don't get any of your money back. So it's a little risky, but it is what it is. Like I always said, I didn't really do the YouTube for money. Like, so reinvesting this money back into YouTube makes perfect sense to me, and that's what I did. There's a big question of taxes with YouTube, and I'm trying to kind of figure that out. I'm working with a CPA to try to figure out if I can get like some of the tax cost, the cost of some of the builds and stuff that I do to write it off on taxes. Because if I'm doing it for YouTube partially, then I should be able to get a partial write-off, because this $9,000 I made wasn't free. Like, I had to put money in to make that $9,000, and that money should be offset in taxes. So it gets really complicated when you're in a situation like mine, but it is what it is. No big deal. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know a lot of people were curious how I made the money. I did have a job where I made a good amount of money, and I have my business. My wife works as well, and I'm a YouTuber, and all YouTubers are rich. That's just the way it goes, right? So a lot of people seem to think like I'm like rich or something. I don't know where anyone would come up with that, because I have like an average 2,000 square foot house. I mean, the cars are kind of expensive, but they're not like, it's not crazy. I don't have a McLaren. Not a lot of money here. I mean, I have enough to live like comfortably, but I'm not balling or anything. Just trying to answer some of the questions that people have had, and explain the money aspect. That's where I get the money. I just had a job, and I work and I just buy crap. So, and a lot of things I look for opportunities to make more money. Like the lithium batteries that I bought, I bought those were bought under my company, which I think I mentioned, and those were to try to trial the batteries to see if they were good enough to be something I wanted to order in bulk and sell. And sometimes I just incorporate that kind of stuff into YouTube just because it's kind of cool to see. As a matter of fact, in this car, in the Pilot, we're about to embark on a trip to look for snow. Kind of an interesting one. Maybe I'll make a separate video on it, but we're gonna try to go look for. I want to take my kids to see snow, especially with global warming. This is like the last year that snow is going to exist in the world. So I'm joking, of course. So I just want to take them to see snow. We live in Houston; they've never seen the snow, so I'm just looking to take the car, take the car somewhere where they can see snow, see it snowing, and that's like what the goal was when we went on our last vacation and there was no snow. I have these awesome KO2 all-terrains that just goes on my urban street dwelling all-wheel drive Pilot. So I definitely am equipped to handle a little bit of snow, and I definitely would like these tires to see some snow before they just get all eaten up on pavement, because they suck compared to pavement tires. They're like really noisy. The grip isn't that good, but they'll be really good in the snow, and they'll be really good in like off-road and stuff like that. But I got to get this damn thing to some snow so I can realize my expensive tires that I bought for pavement, apparently. So anyway, that's it for now. Just wanted to share that stuff. Let me know if anyone has any other questions. I might stop by today to check on the Scatpack. If I do, I'll of course I'll film it and I'll share. But I know that the heads are in. Anyone that's on my Instagram, I showed a picture of the heads, and the car should be done really soon. And yeah, and then we'll just go from there. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.
Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated. Weed engage in the pavement. Rubber escorts like I'm seeking arrangement. Push the gas, escalate the gauges, escalate hits on a cam girl's page.